But anyways, let's get on to your topic, Tats. What do you got for us today?
Well, as I said, when I was before the game released, I was prepping myself, watching movies about giant dinosaur-like monster things. Um, Godzilla, watch that,
Yep.
which I think we talked about 2 weeks
How'd
ago,
you like
last week,
his
something.
googly eye stare in that
Oh,
one thing that uses the thumbnail for our episode?
it worked. It worked so well, but my wife noped out of there so fast when it actually nope, I just left the theater.
Just because she didn't like the way it looked, or because
Well, yeah, but she also wasn't watching the movie really with me.
yeah,
It
she
was,
was
it
just
was
like,
more like I was watching it and she was in the room. She's just like, nope.
nope, not dealing.
Uh, but no, so after I watched that, I think on Tuesday I ended up watching Godzilla: Planet of the Monsters, I think it's computer animated film that's on. It came out on Netflix on the 17th, I think it was. So I was a little bit behind watching it, but yeah, it was really good. I don't know which one I enjoyed more. Them both in their own ways. Godzilla: Planet of the
Oh,
Monsters
dude, it's Gen
is
Urobuchi
very
wrote the screenplay.
yeah
Yeah, he's the guy who did Madoka.
Evangelion.
No,
Um,
that's the guy
Shin.
who did Shin Godzilla. Is the
Yeah.
guy who wrote who was
no, you're right.
worked
You're
for
right.
Gainax.
Yeah. Enough similarities. I keep throwing things together. You're right.
It's all good.
It doesn't help that again I watched them right after the other two,
Yep.
days apart. But anyway, but Planet of the Monsters is very. It does a good job of Godzilla the anime without it being all animeified, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I don't know that really did. So
It's
essentially,
the aesthetic, but not the like tropes, basically.
yeah, I mean, some of the tropes are there, but it's much more in line with Godzilla tropes than it is in line with
Anime.
regular anime
Yeah,
tropes.
gotcha.
They did get permission from Toho to totally disregard all previous Godzilla movies and start their own universe with this. So it's going to be a 3-part series. This is the first movie. I don't think they've mentioned when the second one's supposed to come out yet, because they're working on it still.
Mm-hmm.
Monsters started appearing and destroying cities, and then Godzilla showed up and started destroying humans and monsters alike, and to fight them, but we couldn't. Oh, excuse me, sorry. With the Godzilla movies, you had 2 different alien species that came to Earth around this time, and they helped us to develop space travel, so we fled Earth. And eventually the humanity realized there's no real planets for them out in space. We should return to Earth and just retake it from Godzilla. So they come back to deal with a planet of monsters. And that's more or less the plot of it. They return to the Earth and they're trying to track down Godzilla and they're trying to take him down. As I said, it has a lot of that anime aesthetic. They went to space. You have mechanized work, like exosuits type deal to fight Godzilla with them and stuff. But it's very much Godzilla as opposed to anime.
So is it just them versus Godzilla the whole movie, or do any actual movie like monsters show up?
No other monsters show up in this one.
Hints
I'm
at
assuming
them
they're
at the future,
saving it.
probably.
Say again.
Are there hints towards any of the future movies of them
Yeah.
showing up?
And 'cause the other thing is, it does a good job with a couple twists that I don't want to spoil or anything, but the last minutes are just amazingly well done to set you up for the next movie and get you so hyped for the next movie, and then you're like, crap.
Knowing how, just looking at it, it looks like the movie came out in Japan beforehand and then was put onto Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably be sometime this year. I think they normally write all those and they just stagger the releases. It's like the Lord of the Rings thing, so it'll probably be fairly soon.
But they are still working on the next movie as well. So it may be written, but I know they're still working on the animation stuff. So, but yeah, it was good. It was very enjoyable. I recommend it if you're a fan of Godzilla, and if you're not, I still say give it a shot, especially if you like anime, because of those itches.
Like, what are some of the big like cool fight set pieces in it? To, like, get someone interested who might be like, I don't know a lot about Godzilla, but might like mecha anime or something like you were kind of hinting at.
So when they return to the planet, do you have, Godzilla and all the monsters, but you also have how life has kind of evolved in their own ways, and there's these almost like, I guess, kind of like wyverns. They're like a little bit larger than a person, think eyes, but looking like kind of dragon-like pterodactyl-y thingies. And there's one scene where a whole bunch of those swarm one of the base camps after they have touched down, and so you have people scrambling around trying to get everything together to fight these things off. And so there's definitely a scene where they're getting back into one of the drop ships to just get defensive positions, and these things start breaking in and start like crawling through the vents and everything. They're not vents, but hallways and stuff, chasing after people. And so they have to pull out flamethrowers and machine guns, and all that kind of stuff, while outside people are trying to jump into the actual mechanized suits to fight them off. So that was pretty cool. Another big fight scene is towards the middle of the movie, where they're trying to figure out how to stop Godzilla, because that's the biggest thing, is that they're back to hunting giant monsters. They're having to track him down, figure out his weaknesses, and just get him locked in and defeated. And so there's definitely this scene where they're building up this ravine, and they're building up all these plans, and everything's going well until it doesn't, and then everything falls to shit. And it's like one bad thing after another. But it also highlights like the human tenacity to F and G, and then you still figure out what to do when everything goes to pot. So that was really cool. If you want to know about some of the mechanized stuff that they have as well, they totally have hover bikes that fly into high altitude, high atmosphere.
We're not quite at Gundam level. Really awesome.
Yeah, not quite at Gundam level. But there was a really cool scene where they had like the different squadrons of the hover bikes just like flying circles, kind of doing pot shots at Godzilla, trying to keep him distracted. That was a really cool scene.
Gotcha.
It looks like the sequel is scheduled to come out in May of this year.
Oh, May, that's soon.
And features Mecha Godzilla.
Yep. Yeah, he's mentioned and is kind of a semi-major plot point in the first movie, because the two alien groups that this is in the first couple minutes, so mild spoilers, come to Earth about the same time that Godzilla arrives. One of them promises to help them defeat Godzilla with their Mechagodzilla tech. And unfortunately, right before they're about to activate Mechagodzilla, Godzilla shows up and stops them from
wrecks
activating
everything.
Yeah, and he stops them from activating it, and they have to flee the facility. While they were when they returned to the planet and everything, they kept kind of like coming back to, if only Mechagodzilla had worked, and I wonder if we can find Mechagodzilla, and all those sorts of things. So I think it's going to be, they're going to revive it, and chaos will ensue.
And then the third one, King Kong will show up. No, it's that was more of an American movie, wasn't it? I can't remember. I don't think I ever saw. No. I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Versus King Kong. There is a Godzilla versus King Kong.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, the original King Kong, I believe, is American.
It is.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember if that was American made or Japanese. Like they had to obviously ask the Japanese to use the Godzilla, like Toho or whatever.
Nope, definitely Japanese.
So did you watch the dub or the sub for it?
I watched it in sub, or a dub. Excuse me.
Okay.
I watched it dubbed, so it was pretty good. The voice actors
So
were pretty on
Funimation
point.
dubbed it. I'm trying to look. These seem like some Funimation people, but I'm probably wrong.
Because Funimation dubbed Shin, so I don't think they dubbed
No,
this.
they have their own like
Yeah.
online service too. It wouldn't be on Netflix.
Because-
I think it was just a Netflix independent thing.
I recognized like some of the voices, but
Oh,
when
I
looked
recognize
them
a
up
few.
online- yeah, when I looked them up online, they were like from stuff that I wasn't expecting them to be from.
Prompto.
Yeah.
That's
That's what I was like. I see Rachel Chase, Prince Noctis himself,
Yeah.
and Robbie Draymond is Prompto. Those were the two. I mean, I recognize Jameson Price and Christina V was Velvet and Tales of Berseria.
Ah.
Jameson Price has been in stuff. He's the deep voice guy, as I know him, and all the random anime and video games that he's in. But yeah, I'm going to spare you the FF15 rant this week.
time.
I was waiting to go. I wonder if Mal is going to notice Robbie Draymond or Ray Chase on here from Final Fantasy 15 and say anything.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
I'd only just been pulling it up.
Yeah, Robbie Draymond's getting a lot of work lately. He's in lots of stuff now.
Yup.
So yeah, that's cool, man. I wonder when the next one will be out on Netflix. Did they say? I think May is probably just the release in theaters, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. So if it follows the same way, it'll probably be July then, because it was 2 months after releasing in Japan that it released
That's
on
not bad.
Netflix.
No,
Yeah,
it's not at all. Gojira Kessen Kido Zosho Kutoshi. Or Battle of Mobile Breeding City.
What else does Polygon do? Let's see. Oh, they do Anjin.
Anjin. That's the Gaijin.
Oh yeah. The
Ajin
It's on
is the
Netflix.
other. It's on Netflix. It's weird. It's got a weird animation style, but I guess.
yeah, that's kind of the same animation style. Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone talk about that. Really.
I have a friend
It's
who
also
was
the
really
same.
into it. And Knights of Sidonia. Like,
Yep.
Okay, I know that.
does Netflix just get all of these guys' stuff?
I'm guessing.
They
maybe,
probably
or at least
have
did
some
it
deal.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Knights of Sidonia is the main one that I had recognized them from,
Yeah.
and it is that same kind of
Yeah,
animation
it's
style.
3D
so-
CG is what it's labeled as.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Anime-y.
Well, it's good that you thought it looked good. A lot of the complaints people have about that is that it doesn't really like seamlessly blend a lot of times, especially in like when they were first like getting around to using lots of 3D models, especially in mecha stuff. Like, I think it was like right after Code Geass, a lot of mecha anime just started using 3D models for the mecha, and it looked awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tended to avoid those despite my penchant for loving mecha stuff.
Yeah.
But you can tell they put a lot of effort and a lot of love in this one because again, a lot of the major plot points to any Godzilla film, but especially this one, is the whole mankind versus mankind's demons in the form of what they've done to Mother Nature. So when they return to planet Earth, nature has totally taken over. There's definitely a scene where they're like walking through ancient that are just, the building themselves have disintegrated, but there's been like coral that has grown over them, and so the coral retains the shape of buildings that are literally no longer there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but so like during that scene in particular, but a few of the other scenes, you can see how much effort and energy and love that they put into really making the environment just look perfect, like just look gorgeous, look right, and the animation doesn't feel as janky as CG animation can.
Yeah. If you're going to see an
that made me
anime
happy.
movie, you got to get your Sakuga. Like they're not going to. Anime movies always usually just look good.
Yep.
So, all right, man, that's cool. I'll probably check it out eventually. We'll see. I gotta.
It's only 88 minutes, so
Yeah.
it's only 3 hours.
I only
after
just
life.
now watched Samurai Jack last season finally, so It's like my backlog on everything is so big.